Welcome to Glammaz Closet, guys. Hi, everyone. Hi. Welcome to the House of Glam. It has been a wacky weekend. Typically, the few days after Thanksgiving is actually when I kick into high gear. See, every Christmas we celebrate Christmas in pajamas, which is Christmas Day at our house, and it starts in the afternoon on Christmas Day, when all of our kids and all of our family have already gone to all the other places. And what we do is we invite them to show up in sweatpants and t-shirts and jeans and house slippers. And my husband and I set the example by being in those ourselves. So when we greet people at the door, we're wearing pajamas. Usually I try to find some cute Christmas pajamas. Hi, Kristen. Pardon me. Oh, goodness. I'm coughing a little bit. We've been pulling things out for Christmas, all of the decorations, starting to sort through the lights and see which ones still work, and putting up the brand new Christmas tree. Now, for a little over a decade, I had the same Martha Stewart pre-lit Christmas tree that I originally bought. And we bought it when we could, when we just had been able to start affording to buy a decent tree. So we bought this tree and it had like the little flocking on the ends of it. And it had like this, it was very sprucey and it was pre-lit and it was just beautiful. The problem is that over the years, fake Christmas trees are not supposed to shed their needles, and this thing just shed like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree every year. So finally it got to the point last year where we actually had to get rid of that one, donate it, and purchase a new one this year. So we went to a few different places and looked at Christmas trees, and I decided, okay, these are the features that I like, these are the features that I don't like, and we listed all the features out and then ordered one online. And the one that we ordered online came to us last Wednesday, actually, the day before Thanksgiving. So on Friday, on Friday I relaxed. Yeah, on Friday I did nothing. I hung out with my Olas and had a lovely coffee morning with them and just visited, just hung out and just did nothing but talk because they're my girls. That Saturday, I opened up that box and I started to assemble the tree. And when you're first assembling a tree, it takes a minute to get used to everything, like how far the screws go in on the bottom and all of that stuff. But I managed to figure it out. Hello. There's Sissy, Aisha Dancer, my queen, my pretty princess. And there is my beautiful sister, Bootu Production Company, beautiful and hilarious all at once. She's a talented, gorgeous girl, and I'm very, very proud. By the way, you did a great job on Johnny's intro. So I just thought I'd go live just to kind of give myself a little bit of a break for a second from the Christmas prep. It's intense around here. It is intense. Like I literally have on my clipboard, this is the clipboard, and I literally have like a banquet event order. We call it a BEO in the catering industry. And I have a banquet event order that outlines every single thing, every single detail that I need to take care of, from extra toilet paper to what's going on the cheese display, you name it, everything, where everything goes, what kind of lighting we need for it, all of that. So I usually start planning right about now. And that's what Grandpa and I have been doing all weekend long, which is why I delayed this for a day, because I still had to fluff the last part of that new Christmas tree. Hey, Fartsack, it's good to see you, Mike. I still had to fluff up the last part of the Christmas tree. And this is where we talk about the flocking. Oh my God, this thing was flocking all over the place. So if you get a flocking Christmas tree, oh, thank you, Bartek. If you get a flocking Christmas tree, here's what happens. It's got, on the ends of it, it looks like it's been snowed on, right? They spray something on it that makes it look like snow tipped, like a snowy tree, which is really, really a cute effect. Except when you get it out and you fluff up the tree, and you have to fluff up the tree. I am a professional tree fluffer. So when you fluff up the tree, all the little flocks of the flocking, all the little pieces of the flocking start snowing down. And I have a flocked tree and it flocking sucks, but it looks pretty. Yeah, they really, really look cute. However, I vacuumed up a flocking mess for 3 flocking days in a row while I got this tree assembled and fluffed up. Yeah, it was just such a flocking mess. And I think I may just do spray flocking next time that I get a Christmas tree, which hopefully won't have to be anytime soon. But yeah, it was just such a flocking nightmare. I mean, really, flocking is it's beautiful, but as far as assembly goes, have your vacuum handy, because I have just vacuumed up so much flocking crap from my floor. So I am in Christmas mode this week. Ooh, you're going to get Mom a new tree tomorrow. She's going to love that. I have an extra tree skirt if she needs one. I'm getting rid of mine because I've had the same one for the past, since I got married. And I'm going to I've ordered a new one from Amazon, and it's kind of like yours, Boo. It's burlap, and then it's got red plaid around the edges of it, like a little red plaid ruffle. So that was kind of cute. She wants a smaller one for tabletop. Yeah, I can understand that. Pro tip: don't try to flock a tree with aerosol window snow. It's a disaster. Oh, good tip. Good tip. Okay. I can't wait till I get in the woods. No more Christmas, Thanksgiving, just me in the woods. Well, and the old lady, if she's still coming along. Are you going hunting then? Are you going, this is the time of year, I guess, to go deer hunting. Are you going hunting for deers or turkeys? I think this is turkey hunting season too. Or are you just camping? Do you just get out in the woods just to hike? Oh, to live. Okay. To live. Okay, so you're moving to the woods. Huh. Well, then you've got 1,000 Christmas trees, don't you? Yeah, it kind of does sound lovely, and especially with all the technology that's been surrounding me. I'm so totally behind that right now. Finished up my Christmas shopping. So that's all done for presents as far as like wrapped gifts go. And then I just have a little project for my nephew, for my beautiful nephew. And the rest of it's just cash in envelopes. So thank God for that. Window snow sounds like a disaster, and I would definitely fail at it. I would do that too. Yeah. Well, not like tomorrow, but that's the plan. That's awesome. I'm not even close. I've done next to nothing. You will, though. You'll get there. I have to start with decor, and getting the gifts so that I have everything ready for assemblage starting on December the 21st. And that gives me 3 days. Because I have people coming in to help me clean. That's one of my gifts to myself. Since I have so many people coming to my home, I want to have a fully scrubbed bathroom where it's actually like somebody's actually gotten behind the toilet, and I need places scrubbed that I don't normally always pay as much attention to. I'm done decorating, so that's something. Hey, Cameron, we were just talking about Christmas. I want to produce my own food and fire gardens, chickens, a couple of pigs. Yeah, that'll get you. That's a chicken fried bacon with a salad on the side. Something I've ordered a few gifts for myself. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do a little, one for me, one for you. Cameron, hello. Sup chat peeps. Yeah, I did get myself one. It says be kind in very large letters on the top of the hoodie, and then in tiny little letters it says love a bitch. Be kind of a bitch. I'm like, I can't wait to get this sweatshirt. So I think that's going to actually be my Christmas Day sweatshirt, because why not? It's funny. And my mom can't read it anymore because she's has trouble with her eyesight. And if she can, I don't think she's going to say too much. Yeah, I'm delighted that they make this hoodie and that I will be allowed to wear it. So yeah, I have people actually coming in to help clean the house. I'm going to be setting up. I've got diagrams. I have diagrams. I'm going to be setting up. By the way, Boo, we're doing all apps this year. We're doing heavy apps, but we are doing just all apps. It just has to happen. I have to de-stress Christmas as much as possible. My doctor recommends that I do that. Anna Mora, hello. Hi. Welcome. So yeah, just working on Christmas. We had a meetup in Chicago. I want to talk a little bit about that. So we were, Veronica had a work situation where she had to fly to Chicago and stay there for a few days. Yeah, Boo, hate chicken. Christmas isn't Christmas without the hate chicken. Everybody's asking for hate chicken. I can't do it. So yeah, that's a good appetizer that somebody else can make for you. And most of my appetizers are going to be made from somebody else. I am going to cook a ham, but then I'm making like little ham sandwiches. Does anyone have a Christmas extravaganza plan, games and giveaways and stuff? Sort of, but not for my public. It's for my house. We Grandpa and I were just discussing how we need to start cleaning up the bar tomorrow night. And this bar is a lot bigger than what you see. The space behind me is actually literally the smallest space in the bar. Now we've already got permanent Christmas lights up. We just have to turn them on. But we have to clear off the dance floor and then clear off the bar and behind the bar and make sure and stock everything up. We're going to need fresh lemons and tonic and all of those other things too that go with it. We need to scrub the floors and move the big stuff to where it's supposed to go, and all of those things. Ooh, a live movie review. Yes. Yeah. That's going to be fun. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus right down Santa Claus Lane. Glam on Glampa, love it. Yeah, he's kind of gotten used to the fact that the internet now calls him Glampa. He's like, oh, whatever. I do have some giveaways that I'm going to be doing randomly during my week of Merry Listmas. And it's going to be pretty much the last week that I really pay that much attention to YouTube besides my Sunday brunches. Hey, cops, how you doing, Jonathan? I just have to, you have to know your own limitations. And I can't get too overwhelmed. So I do have a listing challenge the first week of December, and the times are all over the place. I did have to change the time on the Wednesday one to the evening because I'm going to be watching my granddaughter on Wednesdays now for the first 3 Wednesdays in December. So I'm going to be watching her on Wednesdays and Fridays. So again, I've got my hands full, and there's a lot going on. But yeah, Chicago. We went to Chicago. So Veronica was in town for business. And it was one of those rare instances where she's actually flying to the Midwest, and it's not going to cost her any money because she has to do it for work anyway. So we got a chance to visit with each other. Kristen and I Kristen lives about an hour and a half from me, and that's Aisha Dancer right here. That's Aisha Dancer. That's Kristen. She lives about an hour and a half from me. Maybe hour 45 minutes, and in Missouri, and then I'm in St. Louis, and Chicago is about 5.5 hours north of us. 6.5 if you do the trip like we did, which is to take lots of breaks and stretch out, and sometimes you got to stop for a snack or whatever. So we went up Friday night, and Saturday night we met Veronica for the first time. Now, I do have to tell you that Kristen is the safest driver I've ever been in a car with. Well, we drove right by you. Aw, we're hookers. Oh, but with love. Okay. So yeah, I didn't know you were headed that way. We've been talking about this trip for like a month. Are you not paying attention when I'm talking, Michael? Is that what's going on? So we get up there, and she is so, I can't even describe how she's a good driver. She's patient. She's like good company. We talked the whole way. It was fantastic. If you have to go on a road trip, my God, go with Aisha Dancer. She's fantastic. Holly Walter, hello, sugar. How are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here, honey. That is my Ola, and that's who I had coffee with the other day. That she helps me save. She's one of my very dearest friends in the world, my inner circle, and helps save my sanity on quite a regular basis. We just watched the original Miracle on 34th Street to get in the proper mindset for Christmas. It's funny because whenever I see Miracle on 34th Street, I always check Maureen O'Hara saying Thanksgiving, because she says it with an Irish accent. And you can tell that she's not trying to, but she says Thanksgiving. It's the T and then the H, and they're almost, she tries Thanksgiving, but it comes off as Thanksgiving. It's really, really pretty. She's just gorgeous, by the way. I love Maureen O'Hara. Rest her soul, I think. You're like 1 hour away from Chicago. I'll be darned. Yeah, we literally took 55 up from St. Louis right into Chicago. Hey, Dodo. I'm here. I tuned in earlier, but I had to go to the garage and get something. No problem. I also tuned in earlier, and then I realized I had potty really bad. So, yeah. It was an absolute delight driving with you. Well, Kristen, I am happily shocked to hear that. I'm not always the best company, but I try. Denise, hello. How are you? I hope everything's great at the Magical Emporium tonight. So we get up to Chicago, and it was like midnight when we got there. And I apologize, guys. Okay, I have this cliffhanger. It's driving me crazy. You ever get like the little bitty thing in the end of your nose, and you can feel it, but you can't see it, and it's driving you nuts? That's driving me nuts. I've had like sinus issues since we started kicking up all the dust of decorating. No, it wasn't like that drive to Arkansas that one time where I had the worst gas ever, and my sister and my mother were ready to just, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so hilariously bad. It was just the worst. Poor babies. Yeah, we have a huge antique mall and a huge antique junk mall, and I'm here. Oh, man. We really did have a good time in Chicago. Those are the worst, and I almost dropped my coffee. I did one outside of a Starbucks. Was it outside of a Starbucks or outside of a gas station? I honestly can't remember, but yeah. Yeah, sometimes I will eat the wrong thing and get a little gassy, and that's not good either. That's not very feminine. Um, but you know, it is what it is. Mm. Yeah, now that we know that you're close, FSJ, we were so we went to this 3-story like antique mall thing, and you had to pay to get in. But they had like a coat check, and they had like, you know, they had like little places where you could actually get food, and they had the pickle wagon outside, which I thought was the funniest name I'd ever heard. Hello, I work at the pickle wagon. Like, how do you pick up girls like that? Hello, hi Jeannie, hi Mike, hello Beans. Oh, and you travel to, you like Cape Girardeau and St. Charles? I'm like on your way to Cape Girardeau. Literally, you have to pass by Imperial to get to Cape Girardeau. We're that big water tower. Well, we're after the big Arnold water. Anyway, we'll come back to it. You have bile issues, Dodo? Oh, I'm so sorry, my sweet Dodo. My lovely, lovely Dodo. My lovely, hilarious Dodo, by the way. She's brilliantly hilarious. So we went shopping, and that is where I found the love of my life. I fell in love. I just fell in love. I mean, I can think of a few pickle pickup lines, but you too, yeah. Don't get me demonetized. I just got monetized. So we went. They had 3 floors, and on the very first floor, right by the coat check, there was also a booth, and across from the booth they had like a bunch of vintage clothing. And when I say they had vintage, guys, they had really good vintage. Now they knew it, so I was shopping as a consumer, not as a reseller. But they had this beautiful coat that was almost $400, and it was Lily of something. Kristen, if you remember, just pop that in the chat if you can. It was Lilies of something, or Lily of something, but it was very, very vintage. It was 1950s, kind of a swing coat. It was beige, had a cute little round collar. I just thought it was adorable, fit me like a glove. So I thought, okay, I put it back on the rack, and I thought, before I buy anything, I'm going to see everything. So we went around and looked at all the different stuff, and there was so much stuff to see. There were booths after booths after Lillian, that's it, booths after booths, and each booth had like just a crap ton to see. So it was honestly a vintage lover's heaven. They had everything from jewelry to furs to books to lamps to, I mean, if you can think of it and it's vintage, they had it, and they had the good stuff, and they knew it because they were charging a fortune. So the average cost of the coats there was usually right about between $300, $500. So, you know, but I was bound and determined that I was gonna get myself something really, really nice in Chicago. Oh, Maureen O'Hara passed away in 2015, aged 95. She became a naturalized citizen the year before Miracle on 34th Street came out. I'll be darned. Yeah, they had antique teeth models. Yes. Oh my God, Santa! I loved Maureen O'Hara. I mean, in The Quiet Man, she was everything. That's where I learned to worship. But yeah, in Miracle on 34th Street, and then she did another movie with John Wayne too. I'll be listening and working. I love Chicago. I have relatives there. We visited there a lot when we were in Indy. I'm so glad you enjoyed. There was no lack of things to do. The problem is narrowing it down, because there's so much that you can do. I mean, you can just type in one word and there's so much. So we are at this antique thing, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I really, really like, and I'm like, wow, this would be cool to come back to. I mean, they had like a Loewe bag, they had like vintage Chanel, they had everything, guys. And it wasn't just clothing. They had, they had little doodads. They had, like I said, beautiful vintage books, and I mean really vintage, like really vintage books. They had just gorgeous, gorgeous things all over the place. 3 layers of it. And we're on the second layer, and I turn the corner and I turned to my left to say something to Kristen, and that's when I noticed it. It was like 4 booths down, and I ran at it and I tackle hugged it. I tackle hugged a mannequin. I did that. And I've never done that before. It was a gold spray painted mannequin. And it was fully anatomically correct from the chest up, if you know what I mean. And apparently very cold. I did not care. I literally took this coat right off the mannequin and put it right on myself. And I walked around. I did some style walking for the booth owners. And they said, let's see you walk in it. And I did yes, honey. I did a little model walk, and I'm like, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. I fell in love at first sight. I've never fallen in love that quickly with a coat before in my life. Hi, Liv. It's good to see you tonight. Mwah. Hello. Anne Marie, I see you over there. Hi. How you doing? Yes, it was the furry coat that I had on my Instagram, and we call it the Yeti because it literally looks like a Yeti, and it looks like it's all fur, but it's not. It's actually fur lined, and then it's like this really nubby wool, like really super thick nubby wool in between the stripes of faux fur. And it's super duper warm. I mean, I was just squealed and saw it and ran, put it on. That was it. It was over. Love at first sight. Hey, Ronnie, it's good to see you. Mwah. Strut, you did a strut. Yeah, I did. And the overhead music, yeah. It really couldn't have been more. I mean, it was like, oh my God, I served, honey. I had to serve. There is no choice in this coat but to serve. So I had just an absolutely thrill of a time. We were there for most of the afternoon. We came back, got ready for dinner, and then met up with Veronica. We met up with my Ronnie. Hey, Jackson Roy Kirk, how you doing? Mwah. We met up with my Ronnie at oh gosh, I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was one of those. It's like a burger joint, but like an upscale burger joint. So very, very hip. They had a very cool menu, and I had little mini sandwiches and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, Veronica Mitke did a beautiful video. It was so fat poor. That was it. It was like a tap room. And they served me something that I've never had before. And you got to try it if you ever get up there. Fat poor had it's like an ale. So it's like like a red apple cider sort of thing, like a sparkling cider. But they have the pineapple version of it. I had pineapple sparkling cider, and if you ain't had it, you gotta try it. That stuff went down like Kool-Aid. I had like 2. I think I only had 2, possibly 3. 15 different appetizers. Yeah, I got so many appetizers, guys. I just ate so many appetizers. But I wanted to try everything. There's only one way to do that, and that's to order everything. So, I ordered like 3 different appetizers. One was okay. One was not my favorite. And then one was really, really good. Oh, you didn't count mine. I had one because I'm a lightweight. Yeah, it was so good. But yeah, it was pineapple cider. So it was like, it's like the hard apple cider, but it's hard pineapple cider. So good. So good. It was like, it went down like Kool-Aid, honey. And then we went to the Christmas market, and they have a I'm just going to say a mini German themed sort of Christmas market. They tried to set it up like a little Christmas village market in Germany, and sort of failed, according to my German expert. So they didn't. It wasn't exactly the same. It was a little crowded because it's downtown Chicago, and it was a lot crowded because it was the first night that it was happening. So yeah, except it wasn't exactly. It really, according to Veronica, it was missing a few things. So yeah, it was just sort of, yeah. But we had, they tried, let's leave it at that. Exactly. But they had set it up to look very charming, and the lighting was cute and all of that stuff. It was just so darn crowded that we just kind of finally escaped. You have to get some listing done. We all get that, honey. We all understand that. Absolutely. Well, have a good night, beans. So once we sort of popped out of that cork, and literally getting out of there was like popping out of a cork. It was crazy. Once we popped out of that cork, we went to the Starbucks on the Magnificent Mile. And it's this huge, huge production, because everything on the Magnificent Mile is a huge production. So it's like this 2-story Starbucks with like a wraparound. It may have been 3 stories. I just saw the 2. We escaped in the most epic way, though. Yeah. So to get from the Christmas market to the Starbucks wasn't quite that far, but we would have had to call an Uber, and then the Uber would have had to find us, and we would have had to find them. So rather than do that, they had pedicabs where there was just one dude who worked out way too much, and a bicycle, and then a little cab that could seat up to 4 people, like a little carriage thing that could seat up to 4 people facing each other. And it had lights. So it had like disco lights all over it, like on top and on the sides. And it had music. So it was like, do, 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 do. It was like a rolling party. That had to happen. So we hopped in the pedicab and partied our way to Starbucks. We had so much fun. He never skips leg day, does he? That guy's got to have the most solid legs. Thank God he didn't have to go uphill, because I am not an easy carry, kids. It was so much fun, and they had music and lights, and we're just like in downtown Chicago, snapping pictures of each other and everything around. So we had so much fun on the way there. And then we get there, and we had excellent coffee, and we had a nice visit. And it was just kind of nice to realize that everybody really was just like they seem. You know, people, these guys in person were exactly like they were, through YouTube or in the chat. So yeah, it was so much fun, and it was so wonderful. By the time we got home, after all of the shenanigans and the big breakfast and the shopping and the dinner and the little fake German village and the pedicab and the Starbucks and everything else, by the time we got back, we were just knocked out cold. I mean, just knocked out cold. So I apologize that my Sunday brunch the next morning was only like 15 minutes long, but we had plans, and I had to get there. And I had woken up late because I was just beat. So the next morning when we woke up, we got ready, and then had brunch instead of breakfast. So after my live broadcast, we went to Lips in Chicago, which is just around the corner from where Veronica was staying. And Lips is a drag club, and they have a drag brunch, and they are decorated so fabulously. I've never seen like 15 disco balls create a chandelier. That's how fabulous they are. They had like little crossed legs with heels on them coming out of the coming out of the sides, in like art framework. I mean, these are really, the stages were wonderful. The seating was fabulous. The music was good. The weirdest thing to me is that the food was good. So, and it was only like $40 for like brunch and unlimited mimosas. That's a pretty good deal. And then we had the drag show, totally free. And we just tipped as we went. Flock and glitter and cheetah print wallpaper. Yes, it was like that. Yeah, Liv, the pedicab is so much fun. You got to try one. Flock and glitter and cheetah print wallpaper. You are not lying. The bathrooms were lovely. I mean, just everything was lovely. So we had the best drag brunch ever, and that's where we met up with Mary from Two Hip Chicks. Dawn was going to come with her, and Dawn wasn't feeling well that day, and I'm so glad to hear that it looked like on screen this morning Dawn is feeling better, so I feel better. Yeah, lips totally slayed. 15 out of 10. Totally recommend. It's actually quite affordable for brunch. Usually brunch, when somebody tells me that we're going to brunch, my expectation is that it's probably going to cost between $70 and $90 per person, because that's brunch. That just is. So I was, again, sorry, I'm snotty, and the amount of dust running around this house right now is crazy. We really did pull all of the Christmas stuff out. So we went to the drag brunch. We had a fabulous brunch. So good. The food was good. And that exceeded my expectations, because I thought we were going to get kind of lackluster food, but a great show or something like that. And no, we had plenty of mimosas. I talked Kristen into doing a shot with me, because they were selling shots that had like little blinky rings on them. And it was, it wasn't a heavy shot. It wasn't like, here's some whiskey. It was like, a fruity shot or whatever. But great show, great brunch, fantastic time. Mary could not have been cooler in person. And again, just like you see on YouTube, she really is like that in person. She was just lovely. So we went back to V's hotel, visited in the lobby, just sat and had coffee because they had a Starbucks right there. And then eventually went back to our hotel. And since Mary was with us, we decided to go ahead and have dinner out at an Italian place that had been there for over 100 years. And the food was great, and we were stuffed. We were so stuffed up to our eyebrows. So we went back to the hotel, walked Mary back to the parking, and then went back to the hotel and just passed out. Woke up the next morning, threw our crap all in bags, and took off and headed back to St. Louis. And on our way back, Kristen had never gambled at a gas station slot machine before, and I thought that was a first time experience that we should have together. I am such a crappy influence, but she did win $1.55, so there we go, and I doubled my 20, so I felt good about that. So we walked away winners from the gas station slot machine experience, which is not usually the case. Yeah, Fartzak probably knows. Has seen on TV. Hi, Teresa. Hi. I hope you got, I just finally got my package out to you on Monday. They didn't pick it up on Saturday. So it should have shipped out yesterday, and it's coming to your priority mail. So it should be there by Thursday or Friday of this week. And I hope you enjoy it. So we had so much fun. Even on the way back, we had so much fun. Kristen and I talked. We stopped at Cracker Barrel, and we had a big Cracker Barrel breakfast that was just, so good. So overall, the trip to Chicago was an unqualified success. Would I go back? Absolutely. Absolutely. Expensive, but well worth it, and worth every single bit of it. Yeah. And I came home with my very own Yeti for me to hug and cuddle and wear all winter long. So I'm really, really pleased about that. And then I came back, I scrubbed the house down, went right into Thanksgiving, and then right into Christmas shopping and Christmas prepping and list making and pulling things out. So it's been kind of a busy week and a half. I'm busy. But it's also been good. What did Grandpa think of my Yeti? Grandpa has been married for 26 years to me for a reason. Oh, cool. That was his response. That was the expected response. Nothing more than that. I don't require more than that. I don't invite more than that. He just, oh, cool. I'm glad you got yourself something nice. That's what he did. And yeah, he wanted me to have a wonderful time. He and my sons and all the boys in the family, all the men folk in the family are heading up to Green Bay, Wisconsin later on this month to catch a Packers game. And you can imagine, they've rented an RV. They're doing a road trip. All my sons, all of my, my baby mama's life partner, my husband. I mean, all of the guys are like packing into an RV and driving up to Wisconsin. And it's going to be, again, it's, it's expensive, but it's worth it. They're going to the promised land. They're going to, any cheesehead's version of Mecca. So yeah, meeting you gave me life for realsies too. What a way to kick off the Christmas season for me. That was just the best way to kick off the holiday season. I have those wonderful memories. I have some really funny pictures, some of which I'm not even gonna, some of which, let's just say, sometimes what happens in Chicago stays in Chicago. Mostly it was me. I can't even lie. But we had a wonderful time, and now I am prepping for Christmas. So next week I have Merry Listmas, and that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And sometimes I'll be on for an hour. Sometimes I'll be on for more than that. I'm giving it minimum an hour. Taking most of my photos this week. Been spending some time in the old lighting box and creating drafts so that I can, hang out with my peeps. But I wanted to do something to get us kind of. I don't want to go into the holidays thinking, well, I've slacked off all December. Now I have to work my butt off in January. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go into the holidays going, you know what? I did a listing challenge in December. I listed my booty off and now I'm making profits and that's all great. And, it's all downhill from there. So I feel pretty good about doing that the first week of December 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then the rest of December is just, family and friends, holiday fun, and a brunch every Sunday, of course. I do want to announce, yes, I do have a brunch on Christmas Eve morning. And yes, I do have a brunch on New Year's Eve morning as well. It's only an hour of my life and I can stop and take a breath. And I probably need to stop and take a breath at that point. So we're going to be absolutely doing that. So yeah, I think that's about it. Mental check-in, mental health check-in. I'm doing well. And usually this is the time of year when I start to get overwhelmed a little. And I'm doing well. So I'm really happy about that. Keeping up with all of the exercises that I have and all of the things, the coping mechanisms and all that stuff that I've got that make my life a little easier. in that way. And I feel like because I actually have a plan for the stress, it makes the stress of the holidays, it helps it dissipate so much. So part of the plan is getting enough natural sunlight. And so I actually throw on a coat and head outside and get about 15 minutes of natural light, either by myself or if my toddler granddaughter's here, I bundle her up and take her outside with me. She loves crawling all over the deck. She does not care how cold it is. She's such an outdoorsy baby. And I think she's like me. She just loves that fresh air and natural light, and needs it really it puts us both in a great mood. And we both have a much better day when we do that. So you getting over a pinched nerve in your neck. Ouch. Ooh, I hope they gave you something for that. So yeah, my mental health check-in, I'm doing great. And I hope that you are too. I know that sometimes the holidays can start off stressful. I know that sometimes we can start off already, five paces behind what we wanted to be. But I cannot stress this enough. Please listen to me. I can't stress this enough. You have to give yourself 15 minutes a day just to stop and take a mental health break, just to stop and take care of your inner guy. Please do that because your cortisol levels are already going to be off because of the lower daylight. And the lowered exposure to sun and vitamin D and all of that. So I'm telling you, please take good care of yourself. If you can, if it's not too cold, try to step outside for a minute and just get some natural light. Try to sit and do nothing, which is the hardest thing. Anybody who's ever been a mother, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a father, a son, it's a coworker. It's darn near impossible for us with our hustle society and our hustle culture to just stop and literally just breathe. So if I can ask you one favor for me, to please stop and every day just make time to stop and do nothing. Even if you only get 5 minutes, even if you only get 10, stop, do nothing, think of nothing. Don't force yourself to do nothing. Don't make a list. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Just stare off. Think of whatever you want to think of that's not stressful. Think of blue elephants. Think of rhinestone purses. I bundled up in a puffer coat, loaded a mini travel mug with some hot tea, and went for a mini hike on Sunday. And it made a world of difference, even though it was gray and cloudy. Yeah. Don't make a list and don't check it twice. Amen. Yeah, you better testify. Don't check that twice. I do have a list and I check it daily, but before I do that, I have to do my mental health exercises because I know what time of year it is. I know I know myself well enough to know that this is the time of year where if I'm not careful, I can spiral into a depressive episode. I know that if I don't take good care of myself, I will lose my motivation to do anything. And I'll lose the joy of doing the Christmas stuff. And usually that brings me joy. Makes list, top of list, don't make list. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So in order to motivate myself for the other things, I really, really have to slow it down. And I have to take the time to just enjoy the flocking season. Enjoy the flocking tree. That's about it. That's all the flocking advice I have. I'm not all that wise, But I do know that. I do know that you got to save yourself. You got to save your brain. Save it. Do the best you can for it because you're going to need it eventually. I think. I'm not sure. I do want to say that that I want to thank Aunt Boo for providing me with a redone intro. I appreciate that. YouTube is being a wienerhead about it. So yeah, back at you, sending enormous hugs. You betcha. You bet. Back at you, sending tackle enormous hugs. And like I said, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And, you know, when in doubt, I go back to square one and just, you know, yeah. Everyone, please love yourself enough to, yeah, that's great advice. Please love yourself enough to take that deep breath and just be, yeah. Did they approve of this one? They have not struck me yet, but this is the first time that I've used it. So we will find out. They should, though. I mean, you know, we do what we can do. So, but I want to thank you for doing that, Carrie. That was really, really kind. And I know that you had your hands full a lot, like a lot. So thank you. I'm a champion hugger. I try. I am very much. I am very much into a halfway decent hug. I think, why bother if you're not going to do it right? Right. Let me know after it uploads. That's when they do it. Yeah, I will. I'll reach out to you. So that's about all I have as far as this flocking season goes in Chicago, and the story of the Yeti, which is not all the way told. This is just another chapter in the Yeti's life, and I am another. I'm another chapter. It's the boobs that make the hug so great. I think it's my belly. It's kind of soft. It's warm. It's keeping my boobs warm. So it's probably my belly. It's my granddaughter's favorite part of me. Like, she'll pat on it and then put her head on it. It's really, really funny. But she likes it because it's soft. So yeah, Jackson, thank you. So that's about all I have to say tonight. I want to thank you all for being here and helping me. Yeah, it is like memory foam. Teresa, you're right. It's exactly like memory foam. Yeah, takes a little while to bounce back up and down. That's awesome. I love that. I'm going to take that one with me. I'm probably going to be using that. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me tonight. And I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. On Thursdays, I'm still with Johnny in the mornings. And I look forward to seeing you on Sunday mornings for brunch. And if I don't see you then, hopefully I'll see you in the listing challenge next week. We're going to get things listed and kick off the season the right way with something really, really positive for our closets. So in the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much, and never forget, no matter where you go or what you're doing for the holidays, or whether or not you have a memory foam tummy. That's hilarious. That is so funny. I hope you have a great day, and never forget, Glammaz loves you. Bye.